This relates to more news. So on our first post, video report, Europe flexes military muscle, sends 50 troops to Greenland. These are EU versus US troops, man. Europe says stepping up the security in the Arctic. And that goes to the Arctic Sentry mission or Arctic Sentry plan. It means to basically form a support for Greenland. All right, Europe says it's stepping up its security in the Arctic, but the numbers tell a very different story. Less than 50 Europeans have been deployed to Greenland, an island spanning 2.1 million square kilometers. That's roughly one soldier for an area of size of Switzerland. Officially is the Renaissance exercise. It's a Renaissance exercise, and that's what that goes to the mission, the Sentry mission. Unofficially, it's a political signal aimed squarely off at Trump, who has repeatedly said he wants to acquire Greenland for U.S. national security. If this deployment stops America, so their goal is to try to hinder that process, man. You know what I mean? That's why the other nations' prime ministers were respectfully encouraging Trump not to pursue relating to Greenland, man. But let me see. You had an individual get shot relating to in Minnesota in the leg, relating to relating to ICE enforcement, ICE incident relating to somebody getting shot in the leg. The Insurrection Act relating to 1807 was acted in 1790. Basically, it's federalization of military for national security reasons. So Trump's considering that. You have an let me see here. This is top news. Nobel Prize winner hands medal over to Trump as the U.S. pushes forward on acquiring Greenland. Trump administration pushes Greenland's ownership, reimposing tariffs on those who disagree. So tariffs are what? A tax, man. And the tariffs was part of that. Tariffs and sanctions. Using that tariffs, which is a form of taxing for opposition. Are Trump supporters getting what they wanted in the second term related to supporters? Millions of borrowers face wage garnishment. This relates to student loan. I've seen a video report like, while you waiting in the process of that, you still have to require to relate to garnish paying student loans. You know what I mean? As many were applying for like student forgiveness and stuff. In that process, they still required their that video is talking about. They still required to make payments in that process. You know what I mean? Something like that. Millions of borrowers face wage and garnishment. It's the news. Go back. So, Mark Carney, you had a phone call between Benjamin Netanyahu and Prime Minister or President Vladimir Putin relating to the Iran situation that was on the Crux report. Mark Carney and Canada and China reached a landmark trade agreement. Canada and China. You have an U.S. citizen says ICE refused to look had his ID during the arrest. Trump says he'll hold off on sending troops to Minnesota for now. This was 16 minutes ago. This is Bloomberg TV. He was considering it relating to the Insurrection Act. He was considering it. But now he's postponing. You know what I mean? Disturbing reason Iran appears to have stopped slaughtering protesters short. It's New York Post. It's the news. Where is the ceasefire? Asked morning Palestinian Gaza. President Trump reveals the great healthcare plan promising direct cash to Americans for coverage. And that great health plan is pretty much equivalent to what Obamacare was when Obama was. So basically, it's the Trump healthcare, man, or the great healthcare, the Trump plan. You have a man arrested in ROC, died in ICE custody. 55 Lunas Campos arrested in July. DH, which is the Department of Homeland Security, says death is still under investigation pending. ICE says they are committed to ensure individual safety. ROCS Rochester, New York. Let me check something real quick. Scripture says, knowing this in the last days, perilous times shall come. Perilous goes to bad, evil times, man. Trump says there's no need to invoke the Insurrection Act right now. Anti-ICE unrest in Minnesota. Because he's considering it. That's the operative word. He was considering it. Then you have, for right now, he's not going to, he's going to back away from it. Use it momentarily. Trump backs away from using the Insurrection Act in Minnesota after repeating threats to take action, because he was considering it, even stern warning about it now. So now he's backtracking relating to that. Wonder why? Probably opposition about that. Opposition, whether it be to use it. So he's probably getting opposition relating to that. Demonstrators continue rally as freezing weather coming howling back to Minnesota. So you have cold weather across the country, even down here to Florida over the weekend, yesterday, last night. You know, temperatures to the 20s and 30s in some areas. They continue on Sunday, another front will come down, so so different, Florida get cold, you know what I mean? Cold weather can come down here. Florida's not immune to cold weather, you know what I mean? It's not immune or exempt. So, across the country, different, you having different things going on. GOP senators tried to talk Trump down from invoking the Insurrection Act in Minnesota, and that's probably what it was. They were encouraging him not to do it, man. Like I said, he had opposition. You know what I mean? You having, let's see what's else. So this is just quick news real quick. Russian ultimatum to NATO as troops land in Greenland. If you don't stop, you will face severe This is Times of India. Times of India. Severe what? Consequences. So this is just quick reports, real quick, relating to news. Hope it helps relating to information. This is Zaya Wolf. I'll praise Yahweh Shem Yeshua Bashim Makakadash. Zaya Wolf. Shalom.